to becoming a Beaver.
Yes,
Yes.
Oregon State Beaver. After playing those 2 years in high school and getting all these awards, it was absolutely amazing. And then being recognized and being a blue chip player around the country, I had the opportunity to go to like Miami, to Michigan, all these other, all these letters that were coming in.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, at first I didn't know what these were, because
Right.
I mean, I grew up in Hawaii. We didn't
Yeah.
know scholarships. What? Go to school? What?
But they wanted you.
But
All
they
these
wanted
places
me.
wanted you. Yeah.
They wanted me. But I had to kind of reverse, because after a while, my English teacher, she's really sort of helped me throughout everything.
But
and,
what was your English teacher's name?
Laura. So,
Laura.
But it was one of those things where she used to correct my English, because I spoke that pidgin English coming from Hawaii, and I used to get upset. And then she's like, yeah, we talked to your football coaches, and they said you're doing really well, and you could do this scholarship, but you need to start. And that's when I started focusing on school. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And also, growing up in the whole in Hawaii, the special ed. I was pegged as a special ed kid from when I was a little kid, first, second grade. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then so when I went to California, you have to take the test again. And my counselor was like, you don't belong in any of these classes. So they challenged me in California, and they put me in regular classes, and I was able to like graduate, with some, algebra and calculus. It was amazing. So
you were working below your potential.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's one of those things where you just sort of kind of pass the kid around. Like, go ahead, go to next. You're a problem here. You're going to be another problem. They never really believed in you. So, so that's why it was pretty cool to go to California and also discover that part of you.
Right.
And and I got a scholarship, and I went to Oregon State University, the Beavers. I chose them. I had I had 5 visits to different colleges, and it was absolutely amazing just to have all of that.
Yeah.
So,
and then so you're now playing college football.
Yeah.
On a team that gets a lot of TV time.
Actually,
no. Didn't they? Because it does sometimes, right?
No. The Beavers. No, we were the doormats of the Pac-10 back then.
Oh,
so we didn't have, But that's sort of kind of like why I chose them. I went to 5 different visits, and it was amazing. But I went to Oregon State because it was in Corvallis. It was tucked away. There was like 12,000, students. So it was sort of, I felt like I could sort of kind of hide there and play football,
Yeah.
But, when you do well, there's always recognition always comes your way,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's why I went to Oregon State. I signed there because it was such a beautiful place. Yeah.
And then, so I have this in my notes, and I don't know if this is college or the pros, but at some point you have a kiss with your teammate. Was that in college?
Yeah, college.
Okay. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, that was just the weirdest thing. I never really did anything in college because I was so scared of someone finding out, and then me becoming sort of like the man on campus, and playing. It was just very difficult. But it was a friend of mine. I'm not going to tell you what position or what.
No.
Yeah.
He will not be Googleable.
Yeah,
folks.
he will not be Googleizer.
No Googleizing.
No Googleizing. So anyway, I went to go pick up some notes. I'm kidding. Because I missed the class, and then for some reason, it just happened. Like it was just happened. Like it just the kiss came, and I was. Felt good, but I was also shocked, and then the fear kicked in that he was going to tell people.
Right.
And so I pulled back, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
So you made it seem like it was him.
Him.
Yeah.
I made it seem like it was him. So, but he's married and happily married with kids and stuff like that. But it was just that moment in time where I had an amazing kiss by one of my teammates.
So the other thing I was really struck by was how strategic and hyper-vigilant you were about guarding the masculine persona that you had created and hoped to protect.
Right.
That you were very conscious, it seemed, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like you were very conscious all the time of making sure that you didn't show any inkling of being gay.
Yes.
And you also, the other side of that was you lived in a really intense fear of being found out. And
Right.
that lasted. I'm talking more. I mean, it definitely came up in college
Right.
in the book, but I'm more in the prose. Specifically, I think when you were a Viking is when I read
Right.
most of it. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, definitely. It was, gosh, I, it's very difficult, right? Because it was one of those things where when you start doing well and you come from a place like a poor family, and so knowing that you could lose during that time, you could lose everything by someone starting a rumor about you or outing you, right? So all that hard work and sacrifice that you did just to get to that point could be taken away by someone doing that. That was the big fear of all of it. You know, not being able to afford college and having a scholarship full ride, and knowing during that time if somebody found out and outed you that you could be taken away, that scholarship could be taken away, right? You could be alienized by so many of your teammates and stuff like that. So yes, I think when you grow up with nothing, you tend to protect what you have, right? And you don't want that to go away. So for me, all the negative things that happened in my life growing up, I use all that for fuel of fuel for the fire to, like, to get me where I was, getting the scholarship to Oregon State. So yes, I it was hard, waking up every single morning and walking into that locker room and transforming yourself into somebody you wasn't, like straight guy, right? That's probably the hardest thing. It wasn't about being beat up or about being, all this, because I'm a big dude. I can take care of myself. It was about things like that that could be taken away from you by in a second, just by somebody doing something like that. So yes, I got up every single morning. I looked over my shoulder. I protected who I was. Right, as I played college, the more I would play, the more recognition I would get, the more nationally recognizable I would get. And so it was one of those things where you never can trust anyone. And so what you do, you create this whole world of your own, and you protect it, and you make sure no one ever finds out about it, right? But then you live in fear, and you live in depression, and you live in hurt, and you live in suicide tendencies, and you live with all of that stuff, right? But it's a sacrifice because it's a lot better than the place that you came from.